This tutorial is going to cover macros. We will look at how you assign a macro, record a macro, and run a macro. For this exercise, we're going to learn how to create a macro and how to run a macro. And macros, for those of you that may not be aware, is in simplest terms creating a shortcut. So if there's something you do very frequently and you want to be able to create a shortcut keys to be able to perform that function, you can do that with a macro. To begin, what we will do is we will go to the View tab, and then you'll go to the Macros drop down. And this is where you can begin to record a macro. So record your shortcut. You will have to name your shortcut. You'll have to decide whether you want it to be a button or keyboard function, where you want it stored, and the description. For today's purpose, we're going to call this shortcut Arial Black Red. Okay? And it cannot have spaces in the name, so it does have to be all one word. We're going to make this a keyboard shortcut, and this place where it was stored, we were going to leave that the same. So once I clicked keyboard, now you'll see that you've got a categories section, again where it's being stored at, current keys, press new shortcut key, and where the changes are being saved. And if I had written a description, it would populate down here. So first we need to see what key is available to create this shortcut with. So we're going to try Control T. Now, we aren't going to be able to use Control T because it's currently assigned to a hanging indent. So I'm going to erase this, and let's try Alt T. Alt T says normal new macros Arial black. So that one is a previous one that was set as well. So we're going to need to try something else. Let's try Control R. Write paragraph. Okay, let's try Alt R. So Alt R, it is unassigned. So we're going to go with that one, and we're going to click Assign. And now we can click Close. So right now it's recording, and we know it's recording because of this. It looks like a sad face to me, but it's actually a cassette tape showing you that it's recording this macro. So I'm going to highlight this table. Actually, before I highlight the table, what we're going to do is we're going to decide what we want the macro to be. We want the macro to be Arial Black. We want it to be size 12. And I wanted the font to be red. Okay. Now what we're going to do is go back up here to View, and then we're going to click Stop Recording. Alright. So while the macro was recording, we set up our preferences, our settings. Now I should be able to highlight this first table. And I should be able to press Alt and R. And what it did is it put it in Arial Black font, size 12, and made it the color red. So this way, if this was something typically that you would do is put charts in an Arial Black red font, instead of you always having to go through and select those 3 settings, then next week when you do a similar chart, you could just press Alt R and it would do exactly what you have designated for that shortcut to do with this macro. There's another opportunity to do the same thing without pressing the shortcut key that you can run a macro as well. So this is just an alternative method to the shortcut. So what we'll do is we'll highlight the second table. And this time what we'll do is under the macro, we'll click View Macros. And if we want the one that's Arial Black Red, I could just click that one and click Run. And it will also do the same thing. I'm going to go back to View Macros here just to show you a few other things. So Step Into allows you to open Visual Basic Coding View. You can create a new macro by clicking Create. You can delete a macro. And you can organize your macro by copying, deleting, and renaming them, as well as you can add a description here. So this exercise showed you how to create the shortcut or record the shortcut, and then how to implement the shortcut, how to use the shortcut appropriately. And now if I were to share this computer with anybody, and I say, hey, if you're wanting your charts to be in Arial Black, size 12 with red font, all you have to push is Alt-R when you highlight it, and it will automatically create that setting. That's how the shortcut works.